Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness. Yes, Heart of Darkness is a book about the darkness within a heart. And this is figuratively speaking, of course. As you can see in the cover photo, even I'm not exactly sure what this is, but apparently, according to the copyright part, at the end of every Penguin's book about the cover copyright, it says the title name is Heart of Darkness, based on the book apparently. And I can literally see that too. We have Mr. Cuts going ahead and going into become savage mode and literally crawling all the way to try to go back to his savage ways with his savage comrades. However, that didn't really work out. We'll see that in sometime in part 3, but right now we are in part 1. Part 1 Summary. Now, the book itself is split into 3 parts. As a result, we're going to have to go ahead and split this into 3 videos. 1, 2, 3. And of course, a 4th video combining them all together in a quick short summary, in case you don't want detailed ones. As a result, we're going to start off with this first summary. Now, the story goes ahead and starts off on the Thames River. It has, our main character, apparently he's the narrator, but he's not exactly the main character. He's like one of the main character's friends, and the main character is called Marlowe. The main character himself, Marlowe, really is the storyteller of the group, I can probably say. They're all on a steamer, the steamship, and then one of their friends are with them, chilling on the deck. Like, there are 5 of them in total, and one of them is the captain, the others are like accountants, yada yada yada. Marlowe's the storyteller. And one of them, of course, is the narrator. The narrator himself, we don't really learn much about him, but we do learn a lot about Marlowe. In fact, we only learn about Marlowe. Marlowe himself went ahead and started to entertain all of them, saying that, well, yeah, he starts talking about bleakness and bleak things, and eventually, though, we get to a point where we feel like this is going to be so bleak a story, and it is right. Also, it doesn't start off very bleak. It starts off like this. Joseph Conrad later writes out about Marlowe recounting his experiences in the Congo. Here's how it goes. Now, firstly, he went ahead and really wanted to go into the Congo after a trip from Asia. This is my simplest version of the drawing of Asia. Asia. He went ahead and went back to Europe. Again, a simplified version. But in the end, of course, he really wanted to go to that one big place in the bottom of the world, Africa. Again, simplified version. Of course, he was always fascinated by this because, well, back then, Africa is not as mapped as it was today, at least by white men. He was always fascinated by these blank spaces that were kind of blank. And he decided that he really wanted to go to those blank spaces ever since he was a kid, and he tried to get this dream to come true. He later went into this, well, got affiliated with these people that are known or mentioned in the book as the company. Yeah, we're just gonna call this company as the company for a while now. But here's how it goes. So later, Marlowe went ahead, got enrolled in the company because of the help of an aunt who had a relative inside the company. As a result, she went ahead, gave him a letter of recommendation, lots of things, so yada yada yada, why he should be hired. And he got hired. Later, when Marlowe went ahead and told his aunt that he got hired, she was all like, yay! Go civilize all those African people. I can cry of joy that this person, my little nephew, will be able to go ahead and civilize all those Africans. Of course, this went ahead and reinforce something, the prejudice within Marlowe's mind, saying that women are very sensitive and really only live in their dreams. Later on, he is ordered to go to the Congo. Firstly, though, he has to retrieve some remains of Ferguson, the former captain of the ship that he will be captaining himself. What happened? Well, even though he is known as the former captain of Frisloven, was known as like one of the most mild-mannered people. Apparently, he had this little fight with chickens with the black chief of the village, and then he went ahead and striked and killed the chief. Well, it seemed to kill the chief, and then the chief's son decided to like murder him as in revenge. And of course, since he was a white man and everyone was kind of scared of the white man, all the superstitious Africans went ahead and immediately evacuated from the village. Yeah. Of course, after that, he went ahead and went on a steamboat. By he, I mean Marlowe, went on a steamboat, a French one, and literally looked at everything that happened outside of the sea. He literally saw a French little warship, like it's like a steamer but made for war, having a skirmish with the native people. Later remarking on how stupid it was that people were going ahead and mistreating all these Native Africans. Americans are not Africans. But here on Joseph Conrad finally went into the outer station of Belgian Congo. As soon as he reached Belgian Congo, he decided that he really needed to stay there because, well, for 10 days, because his steamer hasn't arrived yet. And finally, when his steamer arrived, he went there and he went to the inner station. Well, tried to go to the inner station anyway, but then he found that his steamer had a bunch of repairs needed and literally sunk, which led him to stay there for several more months until he could literally fix the whole steamboat. And during that time, though, he went ahead and learned more about Kurtz. He would talk to this brickmaker who really didn't make bricks. In fact, there were no supplies to make bricks back there. Just told Marlowe all about Kurt, saying that he was a prodigy, a pretty big pioneer of science, logic, reasoning, etc. Yada yada yada. Of course, this we will only find out is half of the story. It's very biased, and we will see the true Kurtz later, most likely. And that is the end of part 1. And we'll have to see you guys in part 2 when we start talking about the uncle and the manager. You'll see what I'm talking about in the next video. I hope to see you guys soon, and until next time, Shana, peace. Bye bye.